Good morning. Um, I'm Rollen Green from Reactions, Rants, and Rabbit Talks. Rabbit Talks, Rabbit Holes. I'm a little nervous right now. Um, I've been following this guy on Twitter for a while. Um, uh, I actually really like following his feed and what he says. I'm uh, I'm an imperfect being, so I admit I'm not. I can't. Um, it's not can't. I struggle in achieving. Um, I struggle in my achievement to be the best I can be. I'm climbing up that mountain, but I'm doing the best I can, and I can see the top, but it ain't there yet. Some weird stuff has happened over on my other channel. That's why we're over here. Um, kind of blew up, and really I'm seeing some coincidences and some other stuff that I don't think are just coincidences. At the same time, I'm not gonna. I don't ever pretend that it's just what the people out there think it is, because I've walked more than one path in my life, so I'm figuring this out as we go. But I wanted to listen to his music. I never have yet because it didn't fit in with what I was doing, and I'm not. Oh God, now I'm a month and a half into this, so I basically am only listening to music on the channel. Just all this weird stuff has happened, and this playlist that we're setting up today, where you find this video, um, I had no clue 3 weeks ago I was going to be doing this. So I have no clue what it's going to look like, be like, end up as. I just don't know yet. But I know it's not a package to preach to anyone. I saw this in his playlist, and I'm like, I talk a lot about universal energy, positive, negative, love, hate. I tend to go with positive and negative, um, being love and hate are human concepts, not universal energy flows, if you will. Um, I I think negative has hateful reverberations in it. I think positive energy has loving reverberations in it, if you will. Um, I've pointed out before a couple quantum physics books, a couple uh, decades of occult, and an emptiness in my soul that could only be filled by Jesus, and here we are. I can't help anybody right now. What I can do is share the path I'm on and see if we can bring people together and work on it as a team, or just like any of these guys, create an area where we can talk about things that we want to talk about, where um, maybe new progressive um, ideas that destroy faith can be left out. So we're going to check this out first, going to see what it does to me. We're over here because, well, A, I have enough ability to not curse all the time and be a vulgar pig that I figured if we come over here, put on our Sunday church behavior and take a shot at it, maybe over time this influence becomes more important than other influences. That's not a promise. It's a possibility. That's the difference. I accept that change can take place. I'm not searching. I'm searching for reconciliation of my past. Um, my blue book back there, I have a lot of amends to make before I can move to the next step. So let's check this out. I'm pretty excited because I had never heard dude's music. Like I said, I've been following him for years on Twitter, and I get inspired by a lot of stuff he says. I like his position, and I like his resolve when it comes to his feelings for God. He don't waver there, and I'm impressed by that.
Sadie set the tape. like me, why you follow me then? I never run from nothing, that's the line within. I make you uncomfortable cause you got pride in your sin. Pick a side out of the world, who you riding with then. They don't like my hat cause this say keep America great. In the right, they hate me too cause I'm exposing the fakes. Y'all be scared, but I'd rather cut the head off the snakes. Justifying wickedness gon' lead you right to the lake. Women got careers, but they should be taking care of the homes. And men supposed to provide, yeah, you gon' tell me I'm wrong. 2 pans working, but how about the life that you give? You send your babies to the system, then who raising your kids? And the Bible says that you supposed to show them the way. Is that why 17% of Gen Z is gay? Never mind though, cause y'all gon' hate whatever I say. And when something normalizes, you gon' think it's okay. Ay. So I pray. I just pray. Percent of Gen Z is gay. Never mind though, cause y'all gon' hate whatever I say. And when something normalizes, you gon' think it's okay. Ay.
Wow. It all works in the way it works. If you go look at my channel, which I'm telling you, it's steeped in sin. So I'm like I said, I'm not proud of it. I just accept that when I speak, I let things fall out of my head. Sometimes they're laced with curses. Sometimes they're laced with love. I don't know. I do know that I did a song last night, Russian singer, and song was okay. Didn't do much. I wasn't, and then I listened to it a second time and put on the lyrics, and it was a beautiful song about the Russian country. And this is a good place to bring this up, because I believe it's okay to take pride in where you live, but when you normalize hating everybody else because you're perfect, I struggle with that. I'm not saying he's saying that. The line about normalization. If you're looking at my other stuff and trying to figure out what kind of man I am, it is the normalization of progressive ideas that I fight against most every day. I'll share it here. I had an idea for a T-shirt, and forgive me because this is about the most cursing I'm going to do over here. But I wanted to name all the subscribers assholes, but to mean amazing super subscribers, helping overthrow leftist extremism. Because some of those lines we just read, it really resonates with me now. So I thought I'd share that with you now, because it's I'm sure it's probably going to exist someday, but I'm not pitching it here. Um, but that's kind of how this all works for me. Is things I get inspired really easily. I have a hard time containing my thoughts, so I just spill them out. For the last 3 weeks, it is there's almost a path laid out by the weird decisions I've been making, from comments to just random thoughts, pulling a song out and then finding out that it's full of what I needed to hear. And over here, over on Reaction Talk, we will be sticking with a very specific genre of music, but I'll be honest, what I try to do is find the best in all I listen to and explain how they move my spirit, even though maybe the core message isn't about moving my spirit. That maybe I try to find God in everything. Um, as a movie fan and stuff like that, and a guy who's went down some weird paths, I mean, lift a piece of wood, God's under it. Split a rock, He's inside. I believe He permeates everything around me because of the creation process, which I just personally am okay with. I don't believe in the randomness and the chaos thing. I just don't. It's not. There's purpose behind all of this. There's got to be. So we're over here going to find that purpose. Well, that's the first thing that's brought out of me. That's good.
So I pray, I just pray, cause y'all gon' hate whatever I say. All I can do is pray. All I can do is pray. Ooh, they pushing LGBT in the schools. Christians scared to push back, so they just sing the blues. It's a real effort to make all of our children confused. And it's only two genders, they make you think you can choose.
Yeah. So I've said this before. I'm a gamer, and I've said this many times. So I think that's what this channel over here is really about, because we're gonna move my core values from my other channel over here to kind of give them an echo chamber. Um, so my gaming buddies, and I don't mean to call them little. I'm 53 and they're kids, so it's a weird dynamic, right? Because they're my peers, not my kids. Um, so sometimes it comes out as little buddies. I hate to go Gilligan on their butts, but I do that. Um, they told me. So I got like 5 or 6 dudes I game with on the regular back in 7 months ago, and then for years. Okay, so I've known these guys for a year and a half. Um, they tell me all the time that's the biggest pressure in school, to go gay. Um, I'm not going to speak on the religious aspects of it because I think people can love each other. I'm not gonna. I don't have a strong opinion on it. I don't use biblical teachings. I use do no harm. Forcing the agenda on our children does harm. Adults falling for each other and being in love, I can't comment on. I'm not saying I agree with it, but I also live in the real world, and I'm just not saying I'm gonna. If you do no harm, you do no harm. I've said this before. It's super vulgar. I apologize. You do no harm. You're doing something you shouldn't have. Say, got the chicken in the room with you, and you're doing something to the chicken, and the chicken don't want to be there. I side with the chicken. Okay, that's just my one joke, but that's really, it's about harm and care. I can't tell people how they live their life because I believe some old school belief systems are indoctrinated into the process. That being said, man, these kids should not be. First off, kids shouldn't be going talking about sexuality all day. They should be talking about math and science and STEM shit that will help them in the future. Maybe create the things that knock the monopolies and conglomerates off their um, Tower of Babel esque structures. Um, Bring them down to street level and let them know they're not the false prophets and gods they think they are. But I digress. I think we'll get back to the song.
Make all of our children confused, and it's only two genders, they make you think you can choose. It's all over social media and all over the news. Take Romans 13 out of context so you follow the rules. Really, they don't wanna fight back, they use that verse to excuse their shortcomings, and that's the reason that we always gonna lose. Wait, hey, that ain't being Christ-like. He kept it 100, I don't know what y'all think Christ-like. Look what he told unrepentant cities, and that was like, right? What's wrong with saying wrong is wrong and saying right's right? We supposed to show on the way, but everybody let emotions get in the way. Never mind though, cause y'all gon' hate whatever I say. You scared to call out sin, so you gon' say it's okay. Hey. So I pray.
Yeah, so I don't agree with that. I don't say it's okay. I say I do it. So I own my shortcomings. I don't say they're good. So I guess that helps. And I don't know my verses enough. That's why I go with care and love. Um, it's like this, and I hope. But this was the way best song to start with. If you're gonna tell me that God told me not to eat a certain type of animal because it was of the devil, I'm gonna tell you straight to your face that's not a biblical writing at all. That's of man. It's just of man. Man does that, not God. You've got to be high if you believe God's going to tell you what to eat. If that's the case, then he'd tell us not to eat all the poisonous shit, not the stuff that's questionable to a certain group. Okay? That's just the most naive thing I've ever heard. And I'm not saying I can tell you what God's about. I'm not. I can't. That has to be of man. And then as a person who walked a mystery school path and has dispelled magic and the occult, I don't understand why some people don't see the hand of man in there. It's historically factual. So why don't they understand the hand of man was in there? Of course it was. Man decided what was blasphemous, not the person who wrote it. Other religious leaders decided what was blasphemy, not the believers. And maybe if we had an entire picture, not a control structure book, then I'd be a different man. Now, like I said, I've said it all the time, I got a personal relationship with God, so I think that's why I'm here. But I certainly don't believe that you can be mad, just like this song says. I just don't believe that book is full of infallible. Here's the thing: if that was all handed down by on high, then there wouldn't be a list of names to put people at the top of other people. That just wouldn't be those archetypes. You would have spent that entire book destroying power archetypes, because God is the true answer to ending slavery and freeing our souls. It doesn't honor the leadership who re-enslave you. You've got to be kidding me with that, right? The whole point is to break the chains of binding, not to rebind yourself to another more appropriate master. God isn't my master. He's my co-pilot or my best friend or my partner. I agree with his suggestions on how to live my life or whatever, but I mean, she's not bossing me around. I got that pesky free will I got to deal with. It's a total real component to my life. So I'm gonna finish this song up. So far so good though. I really like it. I'm not trying to question anyone's belief. You want to believe the word is the word handed down from on high, believe that. I tend to believe the Council of Nicaea formulated everything to bind humans in a subservient slave culture to a priest class who would rule over them. That's what I believe. I also believe there's lots of evidence to say that that's true. So, yes, this is a spiritual path, but I'm not out doing missionary work. I'm talking about the matters of my own spirit and the wellspring of life inside me that is the home for that kind of thing. Not we're going to do this, this, and this, and this because it says I have to, and then I'll be perfect. The rule book is inside you. It's handed down with natural law and the rules of the universe. Without any guidebook, all of these same rules come to the surface. That's the biggest problem. Is the rule book is good, but it's full of a lot of man's rules, and that bothers me.
Never mind though, cause y'all gon' hate whatever I say. You scared to call out sin, so you gon' say it's okay. Hey. So I pray. I just pray. But y'all gon' hate whatever I say. All I can do is pray.
Sorry, bad DJ, but hey, there he is. I actually see him on Twitter all the time. There's the man himself. I actually really like that. I openly admit that praying is big component of my life. I ask for guidance, but then praying is not all I do. So I decided to give back to everyone that interacts with me with love and care. You want to come hate on me? Go take a shot at that. I will respect you too. I won't like it, and I will question it. I will thank you for sharing it with the world to see. And if you're spicy enough, maybe we'll just pin it at the top. Because, see, I don't just pray. I decide to be better to my fellow human beings, and it has actually reaped benefits. I am reaping what I sowed, and what I sowed was love and care. Even though I'm a flawed man, I still, it's not the high road. Nothing I'm doing over there is a double cross. I decided that honesty and being polite to people was probably a lot more important than racing to the top. That 5 people listening to the message and interacting with each other was way more important than 50,000 clicks. So, as always, we don't ask for anything here. We're just going to call it the way it is. And if it's something you can, if you'd like to come back and join me, I appreciate it. If not, there are people who will tell you everything you want to hear. I'm going to see if I can realign and gain a larger understanding of spiritual issues in my life. I am not trying to become any one thing except a better man. But I want to do that with God in my heart, not out there dead to me. So, there's that. That's about the time we take. I want to listen to more of his music. We will definitely bring this over here. I like his stuff. Now, it's, like I said, I like to find righteousness in the sinful. I like to find the positive message in the questionable. This is all positive message, so we're going to see what positive messages can bring out of me. And final thought, I don't disagree with Scripture. I'm not saying it. I've read my Bible a few times. It's not memorized. I take great. I got a lot of information. Revelation, super important. I do watch the political ties of it all, and unfortunately, I have too much that say. I can't think of what their names are. The Georgetown Jesuit. It's sort of like this. I'm not sure, but I think I know more about a little bit about some of the mystery school stuff that the Jesuit order and some of your theologians might understand, and not as much of the faith-based believing that the followers understand, because it's like the main church, it's like the Catholic Church. Well, you don't realize what's in the basement there. The temple, the Lucifer, the libraries, the archives, the knowledge, the largest collection of pornography in the world. Um, why would all those, to document it? It's certainly not to lock it up and keep it away from the world. So um, the question is, what power are they really wielding? Um, I'm just confused. It all doesn't match up to me. So then I will question some of the church's workings versus the power of Jesus inside of us, kind of thing. So that's it. I don't know. I rambled a lot. I was going to try to stay on topic, but I don't even know what this path is going to mean to me. There was supposed to be another video, but I think this is going to cover it. That's almost hour worth of material over here to start. And we are going to get into just doing reviews and try to reactions and try to bring out what we can bring out. I'm not going to ramble and explain for 4 weeks like I did on my other channel. Um, I've made enough peace with myself to know that this is what we're doing, so we're going to do it. I know I waited to the end, but a lot of this has to do with one individual, Kobe. So I'm grateful, and we'll see. We'll see what comes of all of it. To be honest, this is about the forum I have to use because I'm growing fast enough that I can't keep up being nice to everybody and then trying to have personal communication back and forth. And what everyone has to understand is the single thank you to the little old lady in Ukraine is as equally important as this entire video. And if it stops being that way, then I don't want to do this ever again. The difference is the smallest act of kindness is as powerful and good as the one that thinks you might get glory from it. And I don't need glory. I need to give something back to people who deserve it, not people who demand it. All right, I'll do it. That was, I'll pray, I believe. Let me check. Yes, I just pray. Bryson Gray. Um, I very much liked it. That's the first time I've heard him after following him for years on Twitter, so very cool. I haven't even listened to his Let's Go Brandon stuff. So I'm kind of excited. I think I kept it real, spoke from my heart, and didn't curse a lot. So that's what I'm trying to do over here. Um, I have been rolling green. If you're paying attention, you know who I really am. That's who we're talking. But it gets confusing. So I have been rolling green from reactions, rants, and rabbit holes. You have joined me on this is rolling out of character. Uh, we'll figure this out. I'm brand new to this side of things, so it'll get better. Try to do the best and have the best day you can. Just do something kind for somebody. That would make a big difference. Take care.